Mr. Mark Strange, then, joining us for another episode of The Martial View. Thank you so much for coming on, buddy. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Good to be on, my friend.
You are more than welcome, and yeah, it's awesome to have you on. Actor, producer, martial artist. Wow, what a CV you've got. This is cool. Looking at some of the films you've been in, some of the stuff you've done, from the Medallion to Redcon 1, which you produced and co-wrote as well, and then looking at Hitman 4 too, one of my favorite martial arts movies. So the jealousy for your life is real. It's a thing.
Awesome, man. It's been a long road, mate. I've been working hard, and it was the martial arts that got me sort of like involved with making films and having them opportunities to feature in films. So yeah, it's been a great journey so far.
Was it always something you were kind of interested in? Was that always something that you wanted to kind of turn your hand to, working in stunts and acting and things like that?
It was, man. I when I first started, I kind of I went out, got a martial arts club. It was the movies that influenced me, like majority of people, to want to learn martial arts. And I knew from a young age what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in films and work in films and TV, and I just, I use martial arts as a platform, really. And I still actively train in martial arts myself. So you have to, the thing is with film industry, you have to try and learn new things all the time. And like for example, in Hitman Four, I don't do karate, but I had to play a karate champion. So
Right.
so I had a rough idea of obviously what to do and stuff, but I studied karate for a little bit to look authentic, rather than Chinese stylist,
Yeah.
So which that's my background. So
Yeah. So what was it that attracted you to the Chinese martial arts? So obviously your background mainly is kung fu, correct?
yes, that's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of it was watching the early Jackie Chan movies, really.
Yeah. Cool. Drunken Master and
Yeah, Drunken Master, Snake in the Eagle's Shadow,
yeah,
and all
the
the
classics.
traditional classics. Yeah, and that's what influenced me to do kung fu and the Chinese arts. And along my road, I kind of studied different styles and sort of had different teachers and studied in China and Hong Kong.
May, we've got to talk about that. We've
Yeah,
got to talk about training at the Shaolin Temple. That's like,
yeah,
amazing. What
Mecca of
was that like? Yeah, amazing.
yeah, it was kind of the opportunity came about. My teacher at the time, Derek Frierson, who was based in Leicester, he was doing tours to China and training tours and training with like different masters and obviously part of that tour was to train with the Shaolin monks. And it was insane, man. It was like getting at 5 in the morning, and after the first 2 days, my legs were so stiff I couldn't move them. They were making you hold the horse stance for so long, and stance work, and incredible experience, man. And them guys are like aliens or something. The amazing abilities that they have.
Yeah,
And
I remember seeing the Wheel of Life when it first came out in, I can't remember where it was, but London or something like that, and just being amazed at like the physical feats that they can perform and the fitness and conditioning that they do is just off the scale, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I was only doing like on the tour, I was doing probably about 6 to 8 hours a day training in different.
only 6 to 8 hours,
Oh,
only.
6 to 8 hours. That's probably why I was stiff as a board.
Slacker.
Yeah. But no, I kind of the dedication and the commitment to what they do is incredible, and that's all it takes in whatever you're doing is dedication, the commitment side, the mindset. And you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. So, and that's pretty much what I've done, really. I've had, martial arts is always there in my life. But that has been a major kind of contribution to me doing films,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
in the film industry. So,
Did you
yeah,
always have that mindset then? So as soon as you began martial arts, was it like, this is what I want to do? This is cool. Like, this is my thing.
yeah, definitely. I saw all the traditional action movies. Sylvester Stallone I'm a big fan of him from being little. So generic action movies. I knew that's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to one day be in on the screen doing stuff, and that's what it's a tough road. Anyone that wants to do film work or stunts or acting. You've
Yeah.
just got to do. You've just got to keep going. That's the best advice I can give you. And just literally, keep progressing and build show reels and and put yourself out there and meet people. And that's pretty much what I've done. I've done it totally backwards. I made a movie. And produced a movie. My first one was called Displaced, and many moons ago, it was my very first film, and I developed a show reel out of that, which I started sending out, and the movie went on to get released in America and Japan, and it did quite well for a first movie, and so that took 7 years of my life to
Wow.
create. Yeah, and that was
Talk
that
about
was
commitment.
yeah, exactly. That's it. It's commitment and dedication that you learn from martial arts. You just take that over and put it into a different industry in a sense.
Yeah, and the martial arts, I think, is one of probably the best ones for teaching that discipline and commitment and stuff. It's such a good vehicle for people to learn those principles. And like you said, you just translate it into martial arts, and now you're flying.
Yeah, no, well, keep working. I'm always pushing myself, trying to achieve one step higher every time. I look at my journey ahead is always trying to make the right decision moving forward, and just stay hungry. I love what I do, and I always turn up on set, whatever film or TV show it is, and I always give it my all. And that's what you've got to do.
Buzzing for it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. So where did it go on from then? And so obviously you said that you did your first kind of producing and made your own movie. So you say you did a little bit backwards that way, and it took 7 years. So the commitment is definitely there.
I didn't do the normal route, like go to drama school. I did
Yeah.
do private tuition, private lessons in
Okay.
drama. And I still occasionally go back and so because it's a craft. An actor's craft is you can always develop it. And what I found has been really beneficial for me is working with better actors than me and learning from them on the job,
Yeah.
which for me that has been a fantastic kind of experience doing that. And I highly recommend to anyone is just get that experience and just literally learn on the job. So it's a great way of putting yourself on the spot.
Yeah, for sure. What was your first experience then on being like a big set and doing fight choreography and having to learn it? And what's the process like of doing that?
Wow. Well, bar doing my own stuff after
Yeah.
that, suppose it was a Medallion
Yeah.
and Twins Effect, which Donnie Yen was doing the action for that.
Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan for the Medallion, like some good names. Yeah.
I got to work with Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan in the space of 3 months. I lived in Hong Kong and
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
was working with Jackie on two, and obviously getting to meet Donnie and
Yeah.
working with him on Twins Effect. That was just insane seeing them guys. It was
Were you
just
fangirling a bit?
no, you can't. That's the thing. You can't. You just got to go and do your job, man.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
and then it's just like hope that you get a picture afterwards because that's where when you've finished and you've done your job. Then
Selfie.
Exactly. So, but no, that whole experience was insanely cool, and I'm getting to the opportunity at such a young age to work with them guys
It must
was
have been intense though, the pressure as well, like going from that to such, to Hong Kong, so a culture shock in a way as well.
yeah.
Moving there, living there, and then being on a set with some of the biggest kind of martial arts stars that the
Because
world has to offer.
like with the Medallion, I kind of it was only a very small. It was reshoots. It was only a small villain attacking Jackie kind of thing.
Yeah.
So in that, yeah, it's nerve wracking. You've just got to forget who he is and just do your job and do it to your best. And with Twins Effect, that was slightly longer because there was motorbikes. There was kind of being smashed through railings and attached on wires to an ambulance. So that was my second kind of experience of Hong Kong working in film. So it was you just pick up and learn on the spot, really.
It's crazy, yeah. Where did it go from you from then? So did you move back to the UK after that and start
I did. I
pursuing
come
stuff?
back to the UK and finished making Displaced.
Yeah.
We took it to America and got a sales agent, and then they sold it and got it out there, kind of thing. So, and then I kind of progressed to doing 12, which was originally called Underground, and that. In between making that, I worked on Batman Begins, so I met a lot of kind of screen fighters. And
Yeah, how was that experience? So obviously that's a major movie for that one. Like,
that I was just again, it was really, you know, with for Batman Begins for me, I enjoyed the experience. It was very basic what we were doing.
yeah.
But it was nice to see a huge movie on
Was it
set.
Shepperton Studios? Was that where it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. We were on. They built kind of in the studio. They built like the temple, and me and a million other people I can mention. We're all League of Shadow, and
Cool.
we were kind of like, you know, just getting blown up in a temple. Yeah,
It's not a bad way to spend a day.
exactly. So that was kind of, but the beauty about working on that, I met so many great friends, and which a lot of them went on to do 12, and like Bo Fowler, Leon Shu, Joey Anza, all that Zara Pifian kind of
Oh,
thing.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so all them kind of created the 12 fighters in that movie, and that's another movie that I produced with Chi, who I went on to do
Yeah.
another movie in Hong Kong with called Bodyguard: A New Beginning, which that had Kara Tagawa, who played very famous with playing Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat.
What do you think to the remake? Have you seen the trailer?
Looks great.
It
Yeah,
looks amazing. It looks definitely R-rated. So I'm like, yes.
I think they've gone off the game, haven't they? More,
Yeah.
which is yeah,
Fatality.
yeah. Exactly. So yeah, it looks gory. It looks like Mortal Kombat should be. So
I'm so excited for it. Yeah,
yeah, it looks great, man.
it's gonna
It
be
looks
cool.
really good. Yeah, so I kind of that's really I did 3 movies with the same director, Chi Kyung Chung,
Yeah.
and that was Underground, that was Bodyguard: A New Beginning, and that was Redcon, which is the latest movie that's out there now. So and that movie has done so well. It got released in literally every country in the world on Blu-ray, DVD. Some countries it had a theatrical release as well, so it was in the cinema.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Cinema, which isn't bad for an independent film. It did 64 view sites in the UK. So it was screened at View, Odeon, Cineworld,
Wow,
and now it was available on Netflix, but it's run its term. Now available on Amazon Prime.
Cool.
So, and that was kind of the biggest role that I've took so far as well.
Yeah. And
You know,
did you co-write that one as well and produce?
I was on
So
board.
spinning a lot of plates on that one, bud. Like,
I tell you what, man, it's too much. I don't want to do that again if I can help it.
really?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's so much pressure because with the producing, you're trying to make things happen, and Redcon was a very ambitious movie. I had lots of moving parts, so producing, I've been involved as a producer on that. The writing took many moons to write that because it kept going through different drafts, but acting and doing the action as well. It was just crazy, man. I broke my collarbone on that movie. I did all my rotator cuffs on it. Injuries, mental state. It was a tough movie to create, but looking at it now, seeing the finished jigsaw, it was all worthwhile.
Worth it to see the end result, though. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that it's like a TV premiere on Sci-Fi Channel as well, which is great. So,
Oh, well done, mate. Yeah, awesome.
cheers, man. Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Awesome.
And then Hitman 4 as well. So working with Donnie again.
Yeah,
That was quite a big fight scene, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was probably the biggest fight I've done in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
You know, Hong Kong cinema. I remember getting the call and it was like, oh my God, it was so cool. Like Mike Leader, casting director, producer in Hong Kong, he called me and gave me the opportunity and he put me forward. And when I got the kind of job, I was like, and they were booking my flights because it was shot in Hong Kong. It was shot in a studio over there. And it was just amazing, you know, obviously because number one, working with Yen Wu Ping, who did The Matrix,
Yeah.
and Kill Bill, and many classics like Snake in the Eagle's Shadow. It was just phenomenal having him directing us, and obviously Wilson Yip, the director of Hitman franchise as well.
Yeah.
Donnie wasn't actually there at that time. He'd finished all his filming, and
Okay.
this was kind of like they needed a good old fight with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
So they kind of so when I found out I was fighting Bruce Lee, and I was kind of like an in between Bob Wall and Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
From the old school movies, I was like, oh man, I was flying over there thinking, I was thinking it's got to be a small fight. And then I got there and they started doing it, and I thought, wow, it's an epic fight. Yeah, so it was, it was amazing. It was probably the best career highlight so far. And, I really thank Mike Leader for giving me that opportunity. It
Sure.
was, it's great. And there's been a lot of kind of things happening from it for me as well. So yeah, all good, man. And that can be viewed right now on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Awesome. So go and check that out, everyone. Definitely go and see that. See Mark in action.
Thank you, man.
We were just talking before we started recording, obviously, about COVID and how it's affected like the industry at the moment. So how's it been for you? I know you said that you just keep busy with other things, but it must be
Yeah,
tricky.
I do this full time. So
Yeah.
for me, I've give 12 people some opportunity to do some online coaching, which I've been doing a little bit of online coaching, and people have been doing screen fighting, which I've been punching someone, and they're all the way in Plymouth, kind of thing.
Right.
Oh, to react to the punch. I've also been doing, doing online coaching for martial arts, stretching, kicking, weaponry. I've really enjoyed it because that's where I came from. I came originally from a coaching background,
Yeah.
and so it's great to do it. I've been doing a little bit of that. I've wrote a script as well. With the director that I've got for it, and that's something that we're developing right now, and that'll be my first lead role.
Wow. Yeah.
As well. So that because normally I tend to play either villains or kind of I play part of an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
So this is me as the front guy. So and it'll be
Amazing.
it's an exciting script, really dark, really sort of like anti-hero type character. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. Just as and when, I'm not sure when we're shooting at the moment because we're still not out of the dark cloud.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to crack on with this year. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Fingers crossed. There's a bit of light now, hopefully. So yeah.
Yeah,
Dark
exactly.
cloud's getting a little bit lighter.
Definitely. So I've been keeping myself busy with that, and obviously the coaching, and also I've been staying in shape and keeping myself ready for any other opportunities that might arise.
Yeah, for sure. What do you
Yeah.
do to stay in shape then? Is it just martial arts training? Do you do strength and conditioning, nutrition, everything? Because
The full
got to be in
work.
good shape to do what you
Yeah,
do.
the nutrition company. I have a nutrition company that sponsors me, so they look after my diet and they look after my supplements, and I've been with them over 10 years. A bit of
Okay.
nutrition. They're incredible. I'm also sponsored by a gym as well, so I have. When I say a gym, it's more like an arena. It's huge.
Okay. Yeah.
It's got everything. It's got it's got the boxing academy. It's got the weights. It's got all the cardio. It's got everything.
Super center.
Yeah, it's a super center
Yeah.
basically. That's smart fit. And yeah, so I tend to work. Obviously, I work on my flexibility, work on my cardio, work on weights because from competing in the past. Now it's films. It's all about sometimes the way you look. You might want you to be big. They might want you to be ripped. So I adapt my diet and training to what's necessary for each project.
Yeah.
And so so you tend to go up and down like a yo-yo,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But no, I still actively practice my forms training, weaponry, bag workouts. Don't really do any fighting anymore.
Just on camera.
Just on camera. Just to pretend, even though sometimes I probably get worse injuries than I ever did when I fought for real. So
I was going to say, yeah, what's the injury rate like on working on movie sets and stuff? Because you must get the odd, dink, bash, bruise.
yeah,
You broke your collarbone and things. So
if you're doing your own fights and doing your own action. The idea is it's pretend, you're acting, it's fake, yeah. But sometimes, you know, it's part doing fight action stunt type stuff. You know, you get niggles, you get pulls, strains. You know, sometimes you get hit by accident, which is, you know, it does happen. It's part of the kind of thing that you do. You know, the ultimate thing is always the safety first, you know, but it's accidents do happen, and it is very, you know, I always say you captured forever on film, so you want it to look your best.
Yeah, of course. In terms of legacy, it's going to outlive you and stuff, won't it? So it's perfect. Yeah, it's a great way to put yourself out there. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Mark, for coming on. Everyone needs to go and check out his films. They are awesome. The fight sequences are great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Mark does in the future when obviously everything, you know, calms down and we can get back to doing what we do as martial artists. So yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you
Awesome.
so much, Mark. Take care of yourself.
Cheers, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.